Welcome one and all, I'm Decoy, back with some more cool and unique camp locations for you. Starting off in the forest this week with a camper. And I gotta admit, this spot kind of messes with me a little bit. Mostly because I've been to this so many times in the game that it's one of those spots where I feel like I've already shown you, but I'm pretty sure I haven't. Now, I think what's messing with me is I went to show this in the past, but I had shown so many campers around that time that I was like, I need to stop flooding you guys with campers. We'll hold off on this one. But I will admit, this one is pretty freaking special for the fact that it's full of a whole bunch of jack-o'-lanterns. It's got that crazy fridge. And you can find some sugar, a fair amount of plastic in here. Normally in that oven, you can find a pumpkin pie, which that makes it additionally special. I don't know how else to word it. It's pretty freaking cool having pie, alright? Free pie at your place. Now, every time I've been here, I've always found that fishing hat, so I don't know if that would spawn as something else ever, but I feel like that's kind of a set spawn. Or I just have really bad luck. I have no idea. But overall, it is a pretty cool spot. Now, map-wise, I like it for the fact that you're fairly well centered on the map, and that takes a fairly high priority in my book. I really like to be centered. And pay no mind to where my camp is completely not centered in the map. Don't let that fool you, alright? I love that spot that I'm in for its unique location, but I would prefer to be down a little bit. Now to Toxic Valley, where I've got a neat little raider spot for you. And now I'm gonna book it away from it. Oh, you weren't ready for that, were you? Threw you a curveball. Now don't worry, we'll go back to it. I just wanted to mess with you. That, and I needed to show you that there is this little tent down here that's its own little container that you can loot. So if you are camping there, just know, hey, a short run from your camp, or you got a container you can go check out every now and then. Never know what it'll have. But if you are camping up here, it comes with plenty of severed heads. A whole bunch of them. Though it does kind of mess with you when you look at them and you're like, wait, these are all the same severed heads. All they did was angle the spiked head things a little bit. What the heck? It's okay, though. It's a bunch of severed heads. You can't complain. Let's move on before I say severed heads again. You do get a couple of containers. Of course, we had the wood piles back there. I don't think you care about that. I think you were more entertained by all the decapitated people hanging out at your camp. It does have a pretty nice view out into the wasteland. That's a nice little plus for you. Now, it is a little wonky on throwing down your camp, because if you're too close to it, it doesn't like it. But if you back up far enough, it'll turn green. You should be able to throw your camp down. Now, I haven't seen enemies spawn up there, but hey, it could happen. You never know. Location-wise, you're going to be fairly well out of the way. So, I'm not sure if you want to be setting up shop up there as a vendor, but if you have no intent on vending and you want to be way out of the way where no one will find you, that should work. Now down to the ash heap. And what I like about this spot is that billboard, specifically at nighttime. I know it's all destroyed, it looks like junk, but it looks really cool when the sun goes down. Now, this is a fairly large little unique area right here, so I'm just going to kind of touch bases on a few things. You're going to have quite a few of those ash roses around. You're also going to have a fair amount of different types of ore deposits. All around this area, up on the hill beside it, there's a bunch around that you can scavenge. There's a little bit of junk here and there. Got an explosives crate. No telling what kind of goodies you could get out of that. My personal favorite is plasma grenades. I can never have enough, and somehow I'm always running out. Doesn't matter how many of them I end up with, somehow I run out. And there's just some gold down here. So I'm not sure how many of you will actually camp here, but on the plus side, you do have some water. And of course, there was plenty of various ores around this area if you do a little searching. And that billboard is pretty special. So, decent space for you to play with, pick and choose where exactly you'd like to be. Location-wise, it's not horrible. I mean, you're not far away from a train station, which is pretty cool. So, there you have it. I have nothing else really to say about that spot, sadly. The next spot, though, I think you're gonna love this. Now, to the Savage Divide. And if you like that first Raider camp, you're gonna love this one. Because we just dialed it up a notch. Even more, well, not really more severed heads. I guess we found the bodies for the heads. And I guess that's cool. Downside to this spot, enemies can spawn here. When I showed up, there was a tick here and a wolf. And I only had, well, there's only the one tick, but I think I had a couple wolves. Of course, you had the rad stags right there that you could loot. But man, this spot is really cool for the whole raider vibe. I kind of like that if you look at it, that one body, it's almost like you're fishing with the body out there. It's a really neat idea of taking, was it the cabin off of the boat and using it like a little watchtower type thing. Pretty special. Now in here you do get a little bit of salt. There's a fishing rod. And a hat spawns on this guy. I haven't checked it enough times to see if anything else will spawn. I just got so busy doing other recordings that I just completely forgot to double back and check them a couple more times. Now down here you do get like a little guard tower type thing. Not the best view from it. But honestly, I love that little tower back there. Especially with all the, oh my gosh, what are they, like buoys? Something like that? Tacos. All the tacos on it. The tacos are amazing. Alright, I can't say enough about the tacos. I feel so weird for calling it tacos. But tacos are amazing. Don't let that fool you. So location-wise, not horrible, except for all the enemies. Now to the mire. And this location is where my camp was at in the 4,000 subs video. Not much going on here. The only thing that makes this spot awesome is this boat out in the water. Now, why is this boat so special, you ask? Because you can drop your camp on it, meaning that the entire area of your camp around that boat is nothing but water. So of course you're gonna have to like throw a foundation underwater, build stairs going up, and then build your camp to where it looks like it's floating on the water, however you want to do it. But I did have quite a bit of fun building my camp at this location. It's just, I don't know. It's cool to build a camp on the water. If you haven't done it yet, this would be an amazing spot to do it. I did have a few enemies coming over to investigate when I was camping there. Like I had, for some reason, Scorched running under the water. It was awkward, but kind of entertaining. Now to the Cranberry Bog, where I've just kind of completely phoned it in on Cranberry this week. Because, why not? It's Cranberry. I don't know how many of you are emotionally invested in the Cranberry Bog. But, this spot, I would almost guarantee that everybody knows this spot. And I haven't met anybody that would camp here yet. But I'm going to show it. Because it acts like you can camp here, and that's good enough for me. So in this little tower, of course you had the safe. You got a little bit of junk here and there. Got a couple different containers in the form of desks. Whoop-de-doo. Alright, but they're there. Alright, if you are gutsy enough to camp here, though I do not advise it, I would avoid it at all costs. because high-level ghouls like to spawn here, and you probably don't want that messing with you. They kind of suck and they will destroy your stuff. But that's going to wrap up all the cool and unique camp locations for this week. But don't worry, I'll be back next week with even more of them. And maybe I won't phone it in on Cranberry. I make no promises. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please remember to like, sub, and share. Later.